Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, August 25th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly. Just a heads up, there's a lot of news today. I think Powell is speaking today. So, obviously, I want to be a little careful with the entries. So I'm going to be a little cautious today. I'll see. I don't even know if I'll take any trades because he starts talking at like 7:05. So unless we get an early entry, I don't know if I'll be taking entries because he can really cause price to move very irregular. So we'll see. I don't want to say that I'm not going to take any trades yet because you don't know till you know. But we'll see in a few moments, how the market moves once market does open. So, all right, got everything updated right here. It's good. Get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Looks like we are good to go. All right, I'll give a few moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started shortly. Hey, sir, morning. Morning, Vince. All right, people are still making their way in right now. Good. I'm gonna post this in one more place. The last place to post this. All right, guys. Post this there. Good to go. All right, perfect. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, August 25th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start market liquidity over here on the weekly time frame. As I mentioned earlier, guys, there's a lot of news today. Well, not a lot of news, but mainly Powell is going to be speaking, so it's obviously a big deal. So we're just going to be a little careful today. I don't know if I'll even be taking any trades today because he starts speaking at 7 o'clock. So it's kind of touchy once it gets closer to 7 o'clock. So we'll see what happens here. I'll mark up liquidity. We'll see if there's any opportunities. Hopefully, if there is opportunities, that they come earlier than later. Hopefully within the first couple of minutes of market open. If not, then we're going to be very careful about entries today. We'll have to think twice before even thinking about taking anything, for the obvious reasons. If you guys are not familiar with Powell, Powell is Jay Powell, as most of you guys know. He's like probably the most influential person in the Fed or the Treasury or whatever you want to consider it, that has a lot of pull in the market. So like whatever he says tends to make the market kind of manipulate a bit. Because a lot of people take moves based off what he discusses. So today he's going to be talking about interest rates, possible recession. I don't know if they ever said we were in an official recession. They keep saying that we're going into a recession. They're trying to combat it with inflation, but I don't think it's ever been said that we are officially in a recession. So today I mean, we'll see. Whatever he says is going to have a pretty strong effect on the market. So just be careful. Once you get to closer to 7 o'clock, just be careful. If you start to see market move around kind of funky and you start to see, a lot of irregular movements in the market, it's probably best to just sit it out. So, I mean, we'll see. We won't really know until we know, right? He might talk and market might not even move. But I think the market will move today. I think it'll move in conjunction with like how it's been moving throughout the week. So he's just going to be confirming a lot of stuff that was already released earlier this week. He's just pretty much wrapping up the week with all the news that was coming out. So, I mean, we'll see. But all right, guys, market is going to open in about 10 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity is going to be up here and down here. If you guys are looking to take these levels, as I mentioned before, I'd probably only go for 100 pips because these are low level liquidity. So, but it's up to you guys. It's really up to your preference. Whatever you guys want to do, feel free to do whatever you feel like doing. Price is starting to climb up right here as it goes up a bit higher. Looking over here at the trend's pretty much neutral across the board. It's neutral here on the shorter time frames, neutral here on the longer time frames. Price is in between the pivots. So with that said, we don't really have a trend bias over here. One of the other main things that we want to look at would be something like the retail sentiment, which is flat as well. So neutral retail sentiment. Fundamentals here are bullish. Technicals here are neutral, not really too much to look at, right? So, I mean, if you are looking for something here to take, it would probably be a buy when it comes down to the liquidity. So we got liquidity right here. If you guys want to take it, I'm just going to mark it up for you. I'm not going to take that trade myself personally. I think it's a little too risky. In my opinion, I'm not looking to take anything risky today. As I mentioned, Powell's speaking today. So just be ready. If anything, I'll look for this to touch. And then if it comes back for a retest of it, then maybe I'll look to take it, but maybe not right away. So there goes the touch right there. It's currently running right now. I mean, I'll watch and I'll see if it retests it again on the next candle. It's probably gonna blast right through though. And we'll see. Yeah, it blasted right through. So if you guys took it full TP right there for liquidity, as I mentioned, I'd probably only recommend taking it for 100 pips because obvious reasons here, a lot of uncertainty in the market, but price did blast right through. What I would be looking for here again is I'd probably look for price to pull back. And then if it comes back to retest, another opportunity right there. There you go with another push right there. If you guys took it or got in late, either for sure, if you guys took this trade, you should have hit your TP. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. There's no need to really force anything right now. I'm obviously not forcing anything. I'm going to be waiting for, some confirmation here. There's no pre-market news. We have news over here at 7 and then Powell at 7:05. So I'm just going to put a line over here at 7 o'clock. That's probably going to be like, obviously one of the main cutoffs, and then 7:05, just so that you guys are aware. So there you go, guys. We'll keep following it and we'll see where it goes. If the market starts to move a bit irregular and it doesn't look good, I'm just going to wrap it up early for today, guys. So just a heads up, I'm probably not going to be on for the full until 8 o'clock. If the market starts to move kind of funky around 7 or closer to 7, I'm just going to wrap it up. I don't want to throw away any profits this week. I've had a pretty good week so far. Not looking to take any unnecessary risk on a Friday, and not just any Friday. It's a Friday when Powell is speaking and the Jackson Symposium is going on. So yeah, if you guys don't need a trade today and you guys are happy with your profits for the week, I would just wrap it up. There's no need to take unnecessary risks. If you guys want to take, maybe one or two more trades, feel free. I'll be here. I'm looking for an entry as well. So once we get that, I'll be looking, but right now we just don't have anything yet. The trend over here hasn't shifted yet. So we're looking for the trend to shift to the upside. Again, I probably would have taken the liquidity if we had more of a bias, but we just didn't have a bias today. We had the fundamentals. That was pretty much it. But other than that, the fundamentals here are kind of useless, to be honest. So sentiment here wasn't very one-sided. Trend here wasn't one-sided. If you guys take it for the full 300, right there, price again is overextended over here. So I'd probably be careful with the entry if you're looking for the next one. There's another one right here that's coming up, but price is a bit overextended. So yeah, if you guys took the liquidity there, great. If you guys didn't, completely fine, you know, sit tight, wait for the next one. Let's see, Nathan over here said, done for the day, back to sleep. So Nathan over here took the liquidity push, that first one, total profit of 1,460 for the day. Nice work, Nathan. Yeah, so Nathan caught that and he's going to wrap it up. Just like I said, guys, if you guys are happy with your profits for today or for the week or for whatever, you know, just wrap it up. You don't have to force any trades today. But I'm still looking for a trade. So don't worry. If you guys haven't taken anything, I'm waiting just like you guys. My bad, guys. I didn't clean up the chart over here. So I'm just going to go in. You know, I'll just leave this stuff here. I think this is going to be kind of useful for us when price starts to climb up higher, because then we'll already have levels marked up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the news price, though. I think the news price is kind of relevant. I'll leave the opening price right there because that might be useful to us. But I forgot to clean up my charts from yesterday. So this just shows you that I don't do anything after 8 o'clock, right? So 8 o'clock hits, like yesterday, 8 o'clock hit. I never got back on the charts to clean it up. The markings from yesterday are still here. So this just shows you that, like, you know, when 8 o'clock hits, that's my cutoff to trade. All right, so we have a possibility of price pulling back right here. But at the rate that price is going, I probably wouldn't take a momentum pullback scalp in this specific area because it is very overextended. The trend hasn't really confirmed yet. I mean, the trend did change, but it didn't really confirm. At most, it just like slightly changed there. All right. So if anything, the momentum pullback scalp would have happened, right? Oh, fuck, I just realized I didn't change the color. All these lines here are blue. So technically the momentum pullback scalp would have been at that level where it's currently at right now. Again, like I mentioned, I'm not going to wait for that. I'll probably wait for the next momentum signal to come up because it's been overextended right there. If you measure it from this point, price is pushed up about 1,400 pips. It's due for a pretty heavy retracement at this point. So I'm not taking that first entry right there. I'm waiting for the retracement. I'll probably have to wait for another momentum signal because of the movement there. It's just too risky in my opinion. So I'll mark it up for you guys there if you guys are looking to take it. I'm not in this position though. I just want to mark it up for you guys if you guys are looking to take that specific move right there. I wouldn't recommend it because of the overextension. I'm trying to be as careful and as conservative as possible right now. All right, so I'm not in any positions here right now, guys. I just wanted to show you guys. This is, if you were looking for like a specific entry, that'd be the entry right there because price did pull up. The retracement was on this big red candle. The entry be at this level right here would have filled, and now it's pushing up into profit. Yeah, so if you guys took it, great. It was too risky of a move for me. There's just too many factors today make me want to trade a bit more conservatively than, you know, I typically would. Because Powell's like the main factor today. I think if Powell wasn't speaking today, I would probably would take this entry right here. But right now, I think there's just a lot of uncertainty in the market with what will happen and what can happen that I don't want to take that risk. But anyways, if you guys took it full TP right there, it went right past TP, no pull, no retracement or drawdown, and it literally just went straight to TP. So if you guys took the trade there, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. Again, we're going to wait for another opportunity here. We don't have one yet, but just got to wait for it. All right, so what I would look for here for this next level of liquidity is that retest of the area. So when it comes back up to this area, it's probably going to blast right through. It might retrace down here a little bit, but if it does swing back up, it's probably going to blast right through. One thing I would maybe look for would be like a V1 variation for that reversal to the upside, and then look for maybe, you know, push back up. But right here, we have a sell signal. I'm going to go and clean this up. We have a sell signal here pending, which is great. I want the sell signal to close, and then I want a buy signal to close, and I want it to push back up so that I can continue climbing this to the upside. So that is completely fine, or where it's currently at. So I need that sell signal to close. Once I actually want this candle to be big and the sell signal to close. So once it's big, if it retraces back up, then it's going to be perfect, because it's just going to be that pattern that we've been talking about all week. You know, whenever you get a big candle, it's typically going to retrace, you know, quite a bit back to the upside to fill that candle. So we'll see. All right, let's hear it so far. CJ, morning Daniel. Morning, everybody. Morning, Dan. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Randy. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Kevin. Morning, everybody. Yeah, if you guys are just joining the room, just another reminder, today is a bit of a risky day because Fed Chair Powell speaking. I think the Jack Hole Symposium is still going on today as well. Yeah, so those are the two main things that are happening today. We have Fed Chair Powell speaking at 7 o'clock or 7:05. We have revised UOM consumer sentiment at 7. So this is going to come out, then Powell's going to speak on it. And then after that, we have Fed Harker speaking. And then for the rest of the day, we have the Jack Hole Symposium. Plus, we have Fed member Goolsbee speaking as well. We just have a lot of stuff going on today, which would want to make you guys a bit more cautious when entering trades here. Hey, Gary, how's it going? Morning. I haven't seen you guys in a while. All right, so again, like I mentioned, we're just going to wait for this retracement pullback. We're looking for a sell signal here. So the catalyst that we're looking for is a sell signal to close. This sell signal is going to confirm the retracement pullback. Once we confirm that retracement pullback, then we'll look for a buy signal here to confirm the continuation to the upside. Once we confirm that continuation to the upside, we'll look for a retracement. And then once we have that retracement, we'll look for entry. So we actually want price to retrace here. Price is way overextended right here, so it's about due for retracement. You probably don't see a big candle here, but if you go on the higher time frames, like say the 5-minute time frame, you guys can see this big green candle right here, right? So price is attempting to retrace back. That's why we're looking for that retracement. Whenever price retraces back from a huge candle like this, it typically retraces to either the halfway of the candle or the entire candle, right? So it's almost at the halfway mark. When we get to that halfway mark, we might get a reversal back to the upside. If we don't get it there, then we might get it at the full candle. If we don't get it there, then price may just completely reverse. And if that's the case, that's completely fine. So we'll just start looking for sells. So there's no need to, be stuck in one direction today. There's no bias. Retail sentiment over here is currently 55% short. This indicates that 55% of retail traders are currently selling right now, but it's not really much of a bias. It's more of a neutral bias right now at the moment, because it's not one-sided. Looking over here at the fundamentals are coming back down. They're currently at 163 right now, so they're somewhat bullish, but they're not very strong. We'll see if it holds. Lastly, looking over here at the technicals are currently, they're still neutral. You can see over here on the 1-minute prices in between the pivots, 5-minute, 10-minute, slightly bullish, but not very strong. Looking over here on the 30-minute, it's pretty much neutral, 1 hour neutral, 4-hour bearish. So it's pretty much mixed altogether. This just indicates that the overall trend is currently neutral right now, because short-term and long-term should be aligned, but at the moment, they're not aligned at all. So again, we're looking for either a sell signal to come up here to confirm the retracement, or if it continues to drop, we can get a sell signal and we'll continue to follow the continuation to the downside. It doesn't matter which direction price goes. We'll be looking to take entries here either way. Yeah, no, definitely, Gary. I know personal stuff comes up, life happens. So it's good to see you back here. Hey, Gallo, how's it going? Morning. Yeah, Gallo's ready to make that money with the money emoji. All right, we're looking for the sell signal, guys. So main thing we're looking for right now is the sell signal. Once the sell signal closes, then we can start looking for something here. I'm fine if price continues to climb down further. Again, if you guys want to see the big candle, let's go to the 5-minute time frame. You can see right here the big green candle. Price is just retracing back down. So key area for here is going to be the size of the candle, right? When price gets to this lower end of the candle, there's going to be a couple things that are going to happen. Price is either going to reverse back up and correct to the upside, or price is just going to full on reverse and continue dropping. There's no telling exactly what's going to happen. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen, but there's no telling what's exactly going to happen, right? We do have the sell signal right here. Now that we have the sell signal, we're going to look for a couple things. We're going to look for either the trend here to shift. If this red pivot goes above all the other pivots, then we will continue looking for a sell, right? If that's the case, then great, we're going to look for a sell. However, if we get a buy signal here and price climbs back up, then we'll look for a buy, right? We're either looking for a buy or we're looking for a sell. It doesn't matter. We don't have a bias right now. So there's not really much of a direction that we're aiming for, but we're just going with what price gives us. So as you can see, price is coming down a bit further. When price gets down to this point right here on this lower area, it's either going to provide like a V1 pattern and then reverse back up, or it's just going to keep climbing down. If that's the case, then, so be it. But right now, the trend is currently neutral. You can see the red pivot is still in between. So we got to wait to see if this corrects back up. I think this right here is going to be the turning point. Price may just consolidate here for a little bit. And then eventually it's either going to push up or it's going to push down. This is kind of the middle point, right? You can see where the pivots here are starting to shift. They haven't shifted yet, but they're attempting to shift. So price might just consolidate around this area, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes, whether price, swings down or if it swings back up. It's just a matter of time until we can confirm that. We've got Kenny over here with some profits for the day. He took a breakout total profit of 1,760 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So solid profits right there. We got Patricia over here. Patricia said, I'm done, not trading anymore. Very happy with this week and month so far. Everyone can do this. I'm not setting to show off, just to show what's possible for everyone with consistency. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Patricia, 100%. So Patricia over here sent in her profits for the day. She's currently at 800, 960, and 765 across her accounts. For the week, she's up 4,000 per account. And then for the month, she's up 6,000, 12,000, and 9,000. So I definitely agree with you, Patricia, 100%. A lot of people, they just look at the instant profits, but they don't realize that, Patricia here has been very consistent. She's just taking a couple trades a day. When she's happy with the profits, she just wraps it up. She has like a goal in mind, make 1,000, 2,000 a day, and then wrap it up. And they just reset the process the next day or the next week. So today is just one of those days, which is very risky. So you don't want to risk too much. I mean, this whole week in general was kind of risky because there was so much news. And then a lot of irregular movements in the market, as you guys can see. Like yesterday was pretty crazy. A lot of crazy movements yesterday. Wednesday was actually really flat, and that should have had all the crazy movements with the news. It's just a lot of uncertainty, guys. So looking at this right here, you can see price is starting to shift back up. I keep bouncing between the 1 and 5 because the 5 is a good example right here to show you, or the 10 actually. So look at the 10-minute right here. See how this big green candle came up and this candle is pulling back down? It's either going to pull to the halfway mark, then it's going to shoot up, or it's going to come back down further. So just looking at this here, it's starting to kind of play through a little bit. Looks like this right here would have been a V1 actually. So let's see, Vince said, would you have taken the V1 that just came up? No, because it's not necessarily a V1. There's no bias. So you need a bias to take a V1. It's a V1 pattern, but it's not a V1 entry. So I don't take trades off patterns. I take trades off the actual official entries. But you did identify that properly, Vince. That was a V1 right there. Well, not a V1 pattern, but not an entry. So if we had, say, for example, if this was like 70% short or 65% short, and then we had fundamentals here, which were bullish, and then we also had the technicals over here, because the technicals here are messy, right? You can see the 1 minute's not bullish, 5 minutes somewhat bullish, 10 minutes bullish, but everything down here is bearish. So it's like a mixed bias right now. So you don't really know where price is going. But if that lined up and everything was bullish, then in that case, yeah, I would probably take it. But in this specific situation right here, I wouldn't take it because of the messiness. Hey, FF, how's it going? FFS said, ooh, nice to see you back streaming on YouTube again every day. I actually have been on here every day, FF. You probably just haven't been on here, but I've been on here every day. I never really stop. I don't know if you just haven't been on live stream, but I've been on here like every day. I said I was going to stop on YouTube, but I use the YouTube as the documentation. So the YouTube has always been there because I don't want to record it myself. Because if I record the live stream myself and then upload it later, it's so much work for me. So I just live stream it, so it's already there. So I've been here every day. I haven't really missed any days. I know some people just take breaks, like Gary over there. He was gone for a little while, made his way back. But yeah, But yeah, no, good to see you here, FF, and everybody else who's around. Yeah, Byron said also not good to trade when Powell speaks. Yeah, that's exactly what I was mentioning too. So today's like one of those risky days because Powell is speaking, the Jack Holt symposium is going on, and then also we have all of the other, I think, Fed Chair Harker speaking too. There's just a lot of stuff going on today. So yeah, I agree with Byron 100%. For one, it's Friday. It's already risky all in itself. Two, Powell speaking. Three, the Jack Hole symposium is going on, and then four, we have Fed Harper speaking as well. And then we have high impact news right here too at 7 o'clock. So a lot of things to take into consideration if you guys do decide to trade today, or if you guys do decide to trade around, after 7. I'm hoping to get an entry like before 7, but it is 6:49 right now. So not exactly, it's not really ideal at the moment. Yeah, Maddie said sideways consolidation till news. I agree 100%, Maddie. I don't really see too much going on here. Or sometimes what happens is like right before news, this will like push up, or it'll push in a direction, it'll provide an entry. Like we've seen that happen a lot, where like it gets a few minutes before news and then it just provides an entry. The volatility right now is actually really low though. Volatility is currently at 19, as you guys can see the ATR down below. It's 19 points average true range. That means in the past 14 candles, it's only moved about 19 points directional. So this is ranging within that area. Yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea, Maddie. I mean, if you're good for the week, Maddie, I would just not trade. I mean, if you want to trade on your demo, you can. So guys, if you guys want to keep trading and you don't want to risk your account, just trade on a demo, right? There's nothing wrong with trading on a demo if you just want to play around with the market. It's better to if you just want to like release your trade psychology and you want to be able to trade freely, go on your demo account. But also understand that it is your demo account, so you don't like switch back to your regular account, once you have one win. I've seen a lot of people, it's crazy. They'll go to a demo account, they'll win a couple of trades, they'll switch to their live account, and then they'll blow their account. So don't be that guy. I've helped a lot of people where that's happened in the past. It's more of a common occurrence than you guys might assume. You guys might think that if it happens to you, like you're the only person that it happens to, but it actually happens to a lot of people. Like they're just too afraid to tell anybody. But people will tell me, they'll say like, I screwed up today. I went to demo, won a couple of trades, and then they went back to their live on the same day, and then they ended up blowing their account. So if you guys go to demo, just stick to demo. Don't go back to your live account for today. If you guys want to look for an actual trade, stay on your live account, but just be very cautious and don't take anything that's too risky. So I'm still waiting for this confirmation of trend to shift right here. Price is currently at opening price. I'm going to go over here and mark up, or actually I'll mark it up in a little bit. In a few here, once the lower low is established, I will mark up the zones over here, or I'll mark up the high over here because the high is marked up already. Right there. So there goes the setup right there for how that looks. So looking over here at the trend still hasn't shifted yet. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, we're looking for this red pivot to cross above all of the other pivots. If that's the case, then solid. But it hasn't shifted yet. So I'm looking over here. If you guys can see the pivots, this red pivot, I need it to be above all the other 3 pivots. If it's above all the 3 pivots, I can start looking for a possible sell entry. It's 7:52 right now, so we have about 8 minutes till at 7 o'clock. If we are going to take an entry, it has to happen like right now. It has to happen before 6:52 because typically our hold time for the entry is going to be about like 1 to 3 minutes. And we need to be in and out of that position before news happens. So see what happens here if price continues to come down lower. Yeah, Andrew said demos help him a lot. Yeah, same with Andrew here. So Andrew has a problem with like over trading, revenge trading, etc. What happens with Andrew over here is for a while, I think he switched to demo for like a week or two, right? You switch to demo and then you got your trade psychology back on point. You switch to your live account and here you are like locking in profits again. So a lot of people are against demo. I'm against demo too, but only because like I don't really need it. I have trade psychology locked down. But if you guys need to work on your trade psychology, demo is a good alternative if you guys don't want to blow your account. Unless you guys have like an unlimited amount of money to just keep buying challenges or just keep funding your account, then, so be it, trade a live account. But, I'm always looking out for your guys' best interest. I'm not going to tell you guys something that I wouldn't recommend or something that I wouldn't do. All right, so we have the red pivot over here, slightly above the other ones. So what I need right here is I need a confirmation of direction. So basically now that price is kind of shifting a little bit, the catalyst will be off this candle right here. So see how we have a red candle? If we get a red candle here and price kind of retraces up slightly to like say, or if it comes down and then retraces right here, if it goes to this point, then I'm going to be looking for entry right there. That's where my entry will maybe possibly happen. I got to wait for this candle here to close first. Entry be at the 60 mark if we have opportunity there. We do have news coming up shortly. So if this entry doesn't come up, like and say this next candle right here, then probably nothing to take right there. Thanks, Randy, for the heads up. But yeah, the opportunity would be right here. So if this candle here closes green, the opportunity for entry would be right there at the 60 mark. Because typically we're holding on to this position for, maybe like a few moments, not really that long, or maybe a minute or so. So you still have opportunity to get in and out of the position if necessary, because usually you hold it for like maybe a minute or two. So it'll be done before the news event actually happens. If it pulls up too high, like it's pulling up right here, obviously no entry at that point. So let's see, entry would be right there, 60 mark. Actually, no, it's too close to news. I'm gonna cancel. I'll follow it right here, but it's just getting a little too close to news. I just realized it's 6:56 right now. So news is happening in about 4 minutes. The entry would have happened right here, guys, but I'm not going to take it. It's just way too close to news right now. And it's high impact news. It's not some regular news event. It is revised yield and consumer sentiment. Last thing I want to do is enter a trade, and then it just spikes when it gets close to news over here at 7 o'clock. So I'm not in the position right now, obviously. Well, the trade never got filled, but not in the position. It would have been nice if it would have came up, hit it, and then went straight down, but that didn't happen here, obviously. Yeah, no, thanks, Randy, for the heads up. You can see that my FOMO was starting to get kind of bad there because I was willing to take the trade, even though I knew news was coming up within 5 minutes. So no entry there. Yeah, it never filled. So either way, even if if I left it there, it just wouldn't have gotten filled to begin with. So there's no entry here right now. It's 6:57 right now. 3 minutes till news, or under 3 minutes actually. All right, Maddie. Yeah, I'll let you know. We're probably gonna do something tomorrow. Today we're gonna go golfing. So after this live session, if you guys follow me on social media, I'll be golfing with Kip, Casey, and Gian. So we have a little K2 golf match today. All right, so there's no entry right now, guys. We have news coming up right here. It's completely fine. We're gonna let this kind of play through over here. We have the retracement happening at the moment. And we got news coming up here in about 2 minutes. So we gotta wait for a little bit for this to pass through. Once it passes through, we'll see what happens next. All right, we got news coming up in about 1 minute. So I'm hoping we get a buy signal here. I mean, actually, I don't care what happens. I want to see what happens with the news. So I'm gonna wait and see what happens here with the news. Let me see if the liquidity down below got hit. It actually didn't get hit yet. Okay. So there's a couple of things here that you might want to look out for, guys. Either liquidity down below to get hit when news happens, or price climb back up and retest this this liquidity up here. I think this might be the case. Price might come back up and retest that liquidity above. Well, you have news right here. 7:05 isn't a news event. It's just Powell's going to start speaking. So it's just, it's a threshold for you to like look out for just in case. I'm kind of curious to see how these candles move at 7 o'clock. All right, here goes the news candle. Yep. Bit of a weird movement like we anticipated. Not too crazy of a move, but definitely a little unusual. So with Powell speaking over here at 7:05, guys, he's probably not going to speak right at 7. So we might be able to look for an entry here. Let me see if I can pull up his live stream. Let me see if I can look it up on YouTube real quick. So we know when he's speaking. And just hit where y'all playing. We're playing at Newport Beach Golf Course. It was like the only one with tee times. We wanted to play at a couple other ones, but the tee times were all booked up because we booked it like basically yesterday night. Is the only one that was open. Let me go and measure this real quick. Let's see, Powell live. I don't think they're going to have it on here. Oh, CNBC has it right here. Okay. So CNBC actually has it pending. So it's supposed to be, he's supposed to be talking right now at 7, but I mean, who knows? We'll see what, what happens. I didn't realize that it was going to be live streamed. Sometimes it's live streamed, sometimes it isn't. He's going to be speaking at the Jack Hole. So let's see what that is. Let's see. Yeah, Byron said inflation at 3.5%. Let me go and pull up the news real quick. Let's see what's up. Yeah, so it shifted slightly. Last month it was, so it was a little bit mixed. We had the well, you can see the consumer sentiment kind of shifted a little bit right here. Yeah, it was a bit of some mixed news. Some of it was good, some of it was bad. It wasn't really much of a one-sided news event. So you can see over here, there wasn't really much of a push either. Price kind of went back and forth, went up slightly, came back down, and now it's starting to climb back up right here. So we have a price kind of climbing right here a little bit. We'll see if it climbs up higher. If it climbs up higher, then great, we'll look for a possible buy there. But again, okay, here goes the crazy movement that we were just talking about. Late reaction to the news right there. This price starts to kind of dump down a little bit. Oh, there it goes. I wouldn't chase this move here, guys. If you guys are looking to chase this sell here, be very careful about chasing it because this is all manipulation based off the news that just came out. The news over here is pretty mixed. You can see it started right here from this one. Michigan inflation expectation, those 3.5, actually positive compared to what it was expected. The consensus was going to be lower, but it was actually higher. Michigan consumer sentiment was negative. Inflation expectations was positive. Consumer expectations negative, and then current conditions negative. So it's a mixed bag right here, and it's kind of just tossing around back and forth. And you probably want to wait for this to stabilize a bit. So hopefully nobody chased that fake out right there to the bottom that I mentioned, because now it's swinging right back up to where we were anticipating it. I think price will go up. For me personally, I think price will go up. I think Powell's going to have some good things to say today. Not necessarily great things, but he's going to have things that are better than like what expected. He's going to bring some morale to because he's speaking at a conference today. He's not necessarily speaking just by himself. He's speaking at the Jack Hole Symposium, and he's now speaking as we see it. He's not necessarily going to say bad things. I think he's going to say a lot of good things, just to bring up morale. You know, he needs to. His job right now is not to scare people, because he's not speaking in front of the Fed. He's not speaking in front of the Fed. He's not speaking in front of the committee. He's speaking in front of the public, basically. So you guys just have to kind of see like what he like there's different times. If you've been following me for a while, or if you've been following Powell for a while since like COVID, he speaks differently depending on who he's speaking to. If he's speaking to the public, it's usually positive. He usually has good things to say, or just neutral things. When he's speaking to the government, he has to be a little more strict. So we'll see where this ends up going. He's now speaking, so I mean, we'll go back and forth between that to see what's going on here. But you want to be a little careful with like any entries right now, because yeah. Let's see if the subtitles aren't working right now. I was hoping I could get the subtitles up. Yeah, it says in this year's iteration, many expect the central bank leader to change his stance so that he hits the ball pretty much down the middle. Yeah. So like, if you guys have remembered in the past, Powell's been always very positive. He's been known as the money printer. So he says a lot of good stuff. And then when the recession started happening, he started saying a lot of bad stuff, just to like kind of balance everything out. And then now on CNBC, it says this year, he's going to be changing his stance so that he kind of just stays in the middle. He's not necessarily going one side or the other. He's kind of just staying down the middle. He'll say, okay, like economy is doing bad, but we're doing this to combat that. Or the economy is doing bad and we're doing this to improve on it. So I think you're going to get a lot of a back and forth movement here, depending on what he says. It's going to be a little bit tough to get some consistency, but I mean, we'll see. All right, Gian. Yeah, I'll see you at the golf course, Gian. I'm gonna go grab some breakfast soon too. All right, so we'll see if there's anything here for us to take. I'm actually gonna take a seat. Standing on this whole side. All right, Patricia, we'll see you back here on Monday. Patricia's gonna head out too. I'm still gonna be looking for entries here, guys. If it comes close to like say 7:30 and there still isn't much for us to take, I'm just gonna wrap it up, right? There's no need for us to be out here if there's nothing for us to take today. And I'm not looking to take anything risky. I'm trying to stay within my means today. You guys can see the volatility here is very high. ETR is currently at 30. I've never seen it at 30 all summer. First day I've seen it this high. But I'll keep looking for possible entries. So, I mean, if we see something here, I'll mark it up for you guys. I'll let you guys know if I'm taking it. I'm going to be very careful about what I'm taking. So, odds are I'm probably not going to take it, but I will be, marking stuff up, and I'll try to be as straightforward with you guys as possible. Let's see, CJ said, I really commend you for being honest about your FOMO. A lot of mentors make it seem like they've got it all together and don't show that they still have to work on their trade psychology. Your transparency helped me just as much as, if not more than the other strategies. Yeah, and I agree with you too, CJ, 100%. There's a lot of other trading mentors out there that act like they have everything down and that they never make mistakes. For me, I make mistakes all the time, but it's just, I'm good at catching them, and I'm good at, usually my mistakes still play out. Like I'll make a mistake and I'll FOMO, but with my strategies here, I have everything kind of lined up. Like whenever I take a trade, I know for sure it's going to hit, even if it's a bad trade or even if it's a risky trade, it still works, right? So for me, I kind of like line everything up so that even though I may make a mistake or I might FOMO, it'll still play out. But you don't want to make that a habit. You don't want to make it a habit where you're getting lucky and then you're feeling good about getting lucky. So yeah, no, and I agree with you too, CJ, 100%. Like, you know, you guys have to understand that it doesn't matter how long you guys have been trading. The trade psychology will still test you. You'll still get FOMO. You'll still want to overtrade. You'll still want to revenge trade. And I'm just like clear example to you guys, right? I took a almost FOMO trade there earlier before news. And I know that happens with a lot of people. I always tell people not to trade 5 minutes before news. And even myself, I was willing to take that trade at like 6:54. I went to the very last minute to still want to take the trade. So yeah, you know, just keep it in mind, guys. You know, you guys are not alone. If you guys are making mistakes trading, you know, I probably still make the same mistakes you're making. I just don't make them as often. And if I do make them, I take responsibility and I don't make them again in the future. So right here, guys, we have a possible entry for a sell. I just got to see where this candle ends up going. So like, for example, here we had a sell signal, trends downwards. We have price retracing up right here with the green candle. If this ends up retracing right here, ATR is currently at 31. It's very volatile. It's actually too volatile right now. The entry might happen right here at the 30 mark. I'll let you guys know if I do plan on taking. I'm probably not going to take the volatility is a little high. If anything, the entry might happen right here at the 20 mark. So depending on where this candle closes, it might be at the 20, it might be at the 30 over here. So it's actually at the 30 right there if anybody's looking to maybe take it. If not, you know, I'd probably just hold off and just wait for the market to kind of, I mean, it's starting to move pretty crazy right now. So you might want to be a little careful with whatever entries you guys take at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, the volatility right here is kind of crazy at the moment. It's kind of bouncing back and forth very heavily. I was thinking about taking it, but now that I see these spikes right here, I'm kind of like a little more cautious about whether, because I want to see what Powell is saying, but I don't really have any. I have no idea what he's saying right now because everything's kind of muted at the moment specifically. I thought I could turn it on, but I'm not going to risk it, or I'm not going to try to. Oh, never mind. The subtitles are actually working now. Let me see if I can update this. So it looks like he's talking about housing right now. Let's see where this is at. Yeah, the candles are they're spiking around a lot right now at the moment. So I'm not going to take any risks over here. I think I might just wrap it up, guys. Honestly, like looking at where these candles are moving right now, it's just a little too crazy how this stuff's bouncing around. I was trying to turn my volume up to see if I would hear him speaking, but I forgot that I have the actual YouTube muted. Yeah, you probably just want to watch because the thing right here is that, I mean, price is bearish. It might retrace up a little bit and then it might come right back down, or it might go up, or it might climb. The thing is, like, whatever Powell says, people are going to move based off what he's, you know, currently saying. So like whether he says good things or says bad things, there's just a lot that can come out of it. Exactly. Randy said the big candles aren't favorable, just might retrace first before price makes its decision. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Randy. This candle here was a little too big. So like price didn't necessarily confirm the continuation to the downside. Whenever you guys get a big candle like this, price is either going to fill it or it's going to continue climbing. You can see right here, price is starting to drop a little more, but it's not exactly, you know, it's not exactly a clean markup in direction of like where price is going. Yeah, Matt said Fed is prepared to raise rates further if needed, plans to hold rates until inflation comes down, inflation remains too high. Yeah, so that's what mentioned right there. So yeah, like with that statement that Matt just mentioned, it just doesn't make any sense, right? They're saying both things. So Matt said Fed is prepared to raise rates further if needed. Pause, right? Plans to hold rates until inflation comes down. Pause. Like if you just cut those into like 3 different areas, it's like, okay, Fed's like, okay, we can raise it if we need to, but we plan on holding it, but then inflation's too high. So what is it really, right? Are they going to raise it? Or are they going to keep it where it's at, or are they going to lower it? Well, I mean, they're for sure not going to lower it, but you guys can kind of see how like the rhetoric and like what's being announced right now. Let's see. Andrew said, taking my profits for today. Have a good round today, Sean. Don't trade. Yeah, I know. I think I might just wrap this up, guys. It's 7:17 right now, or 7:13. It's not really a good time to trade, so I wouldn't necessarily risk any of this just to like get one trade for the day. I mean, I'm good with my profits for the week. As long as we close out the week in profit, I think that's probably the most key thing there to close that week out with. Yeah, and also like what Kevin said here, he said these candles are crazy. The ATR, I haven't seen ATR this high in like I don't remember how long. ATR is currently at 32. If it was around 20, 22, then okay, perfect. Because we'll be able to get in and out of our positions pretty quickly, right? This right here, if the ATR is currently at 32 and your stop loss is 25, this can easily just stop you out and then go to your TP. Like it's just bigger than your stop loss. That's why the ATR here is important, because so for example here, I'm just going to show you guys real quick as an example of like what I mean by that. So if the ATR right now, this is the average range, right? 33 points. So say for example, you enter a trade here, your TP stop loss is 1025, right? If that's the case and you enter like say up here, price can easily come down, stop you out, and then go straight to your TP. That's why you don't want the ATR to be too low because it'll just go sideways. And then you don't want the ATR too high because it'll stop you out before it reaches your TP. In the fall season, this probably won't be the norm, honestly. The ATR is not going to be at 33. It's going to be around like maybe 25 or higher 25s. If that's the case, then we're just going to adjust our TP stop loss, right? Instead of going for 1025, we'll go for maybe like 1530, or if we'll go for like 2040 or 2035. We're just going to make small adjustments for our ATR to basically align with what we need with regard to volatility. So yeah, like Kenny said over here, yeah, the candles are as big as our stop loss. It's just not worth trading right now. The volatility is too high. We don't have enough time to make adjustments right now because this is a one-day thing. This is happening just today. It's not like this is consistently going to be the ATR for the next 5 days, right? If this is the continued volatility every day, then I'm for sure going to make adjustments. But right now, this is just for right now because Powell is speaking. So what I would recommend, guys, and you guys can already see the craziness and price movement over here. It's not really a safe market to trade in. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'll help you guys with whatever you guys need help with. Otherwise, we'll probably just wrap this up for the day. I don't think there's any necessity for us to force anything here, especially with what's currently going on in the market. It's just not worth the risk. Yeah, I mean, personally, it's really not worth it, guys. Because the thing is, you can get lucky here and profit, but if you don't profit, I think the slippage here is going to be everyone's biggest enemy. Because say, for example, you enter a trade here. So see how price is spiking up so heavily? Say you enter a trade here, right? And it hits your TP. If it goes to your TP, great, because you're going to get slippage in your favor. However, if it hits your stop loss and say, for example, you take a sell over here and price just ends up spiking around, and say you're close to your max daily loss for the day, right? So you have to get 5% max for the day. If that's the case and price spikes up within like a few seconds, you're going to get screwed because you're not going to exit where you were supposed to. You're going to exit like way up here because of the slippage. So I'm just warning you guys now because the volatility is too high right now. There's no telling if the volatility is going to get higher or if it's going to get lower. In my opinion, it's getting higher because you can see earlier it was 30. It's now 36. That's extremely high for what we're used to. We're used to price moving at 15. So price is moving double speed of what we're usually trading at. It's 37 now. So see how it just keeps increasing? It's really not worth the it's not worth the risk unless you're trading on like a personal account. Because if you're trading on a funded account or even like a challenge, the possibility of you blowing that, like not even being your fault, is very high. So it is, the market just is not it for sure. Exactly. Yeah, Vince just said that right now too. He said, yeah, this market isn't it. See you next week, Sean. Definitely, Vince. Yeah, Daniel said, I took a trade on demo on the top of liquidity, which had the second touch, and he doubled his TP. Yeah, so he went over here and the slippage lasted right there. And look how price is coming all the way back down. The market's a circus right now, guys. It's not really an area that you want to trade in. This isn't what I recommend. I never recommend you guys taking risky trades. I would probably just hold off. Let's see, C6A Powell just finished. Yeah, so Powell just finished, but I think the market's still going to have a reaction to like what he would just said. I mean, you guys can see the reaction right here. It's pretty messy as is. So, yeah, I mean, for me personally, guys, I'm just going to wrap this up. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, yeah, Sisu said I would definitely be super careful, because the thing is, even though Powell is done speaking, the market is still going to react to what he said. So like today, he said some good things, right? If CNBC reports the good things that he mentioned, right here, you can see. Fed chair calls inflation too high, warns that we're prepared to raise further rates. With the news right there, people will run with that news, right? If they think price is going to go down, they're going to chase it down. If they think price is going to go up, they'll chase it up. The thing is, you don't want to be a pawn in their game, right? You don't want to be in the middle of like this crazy movement where it ends up hitting your stop loss and it goes straight to TP. Because I think that will really piss you off if you enter a trade and then you see it hit your stop loss and then immediately right after it goes straight to your TP. It's just not worth the risk. All right, Daniel. So it looks like we're gonna wrap this up early for the day, guys. I got a golf match to catch with Kip and Casey. Let me see everybody's profits for the day so far. Let's see. So we got Johnny over here. Johnny locked in a total profit of 2,056 for the day. Nice work, Johnny. Solid profit right there. We got Natasha over here. She said, got lucky. I'm going to stop playing with fire. Almost got burned. Total profit of 1027 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. Yeah, no, great work on like catching yourself and wrapping it up. We got Gian over here. He caught this over here at 705. Total profit of 1,410 for the day. Nice work, Gian. All wins right there. Gian locked in this profit. We got Rashida over here. Total profit on our MT4 of 935. Nice work, Rashida. On her MT4 account, and then her Top Step Tradeovate account over here, total profit of 962, straight wins on both the accounts. So great way to close out the week, guys. We got Maddie over here. Maddie just posted his profits. He locked in a total profit of 5,475 for the week. So here's the stats for the week so far. His first account locked in 1,190. Maddie's second account, total profit of 2,555. And then Maddie's third account, 680. And his fourth account, total profit of 1,050. So nice work right there, Maddie. Good consistency, solid moves, solid profits. And I think that might be. Yeah, we have Andrew over here as well. Andrew said back on the combine. Total profit of 2,040 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. Yeah, so you guys did pretty good. It looks like a lot of you guys here just took trades off my analysis. You didn't really take anything specific, but a lot of stuff off the analysis. Randy over here didn't take any trades. Nice work, Randy. Smart move on your end right there. And then we have Rashida over here, some more profits. Total profit of 1,719 on our MT4. She caught that right back to the downside. And then her Top Step over here, total profit of 1,411. So, all right, guys, great work here so far. Again, if you guys want to continue trading, feel free. But if I was to recommend to you, like look at the ATR, guys, it's now 41. I've never seen the ATR this high during the summer. Like this reminds me of like COVID times right now, where Powell would say something, the market would just go bonkers, right? It's literally going bonkers right now. I wouldn't recommend trading because you guys can see how big these candles are. Just remember what your stop loss is, guys. I think that's going to be the biggest thing here. If you want to really see how market's moving, draw 25 points right here and then put it next to each candle. each candle has an opportunity to stop you out. If you're wrong, you're going to get stopped out, right? You don't even have time to think. It's just the market movement here is just it's not worth playing with. If you guys want to keep trading, I would probably make an adjustment. You probably want to trade like a 25.50 instead of a 10.25 because the volatility is just a little too high here. But even at that, I wouldn't risk it because you might be trading at a higher TP stop loss, and then as soon as the volatility dies down, you're going to be trapped in that position. So yeah, Kenny said as a reminder, there's news at 8 a.m. too. So he would call it a day too. So, all right, guys, there's more news coming up at 8 o'clock. I just wrap it up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, or you guys can message me on Telegram. Kevin over here, no trades for the day. Smart move, Kevin, smart move. But all right, so I think that's it. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Monday for Market Open. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe.